Ryan Ermanni.
Hey, let's go on a Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. Ryan Ermanni, JR Afternoon, Beth Ann Long, Danielle Mason behind the glass. Ladies, how's everybody doing today? Thanks for being here today. I know the roadways out there are not great. This winter weather continues to just pound Metro Detroit, the state of Michigan, and about 175 million other people in the area. It's tough out there, Beth Ann.
It was a tough drive in. Like, I'm only live about 20 minutes away, and I think it took me about 15 minutes to get in this morning. It was rough.
You know, I feel like I benefited a little bit earlier today because when I went into Fox 2, it had just started to begin snowing in the 4 o'clock hour, and I got in the car at 5, and there was a little bit of snow on the road. It wasn't a lot, but it was just enough to make it messy, and it's continued to come down. But we are in, ladies and gentlemen, for Arctic air, an Arctic blast coming in. Derek Kever said this morning that Weather Authority on Fox 2 that we are going to get and see temperatures in the minus 25 range over the next couple of days in terms of lows, in terms of wind chills. This extreme cold it can hit some harder than others too, especially young children, older adults, pets. Check in on your loved ones. Check in on your neighbors. This weather is not only taking a toll on people, it is taking a toll on our infrastructure as well. We're talking about water main breaks. Several of them have been reported in several cities. And how about trying to fix a water main break in this? Are you kidding me? And we didn't talk about this yesterday, but that big pileup in West Michigan on I-96, that 100-car pileup on Monday, it is a good reminder if you are in a situation where something like that happens to you, and it doesn't even have to be a 100-car pileup. It could just be like you're involved in a crash, a spin-out, whatever. Michigan State Police are saying stay in your car. The safest thing you can do is to remain in your vehicle until first responders arrive, because you get out of your car and it's slippery and it's slick out there, and maybe another car doesn't see you. Heaven forbid something happens in that case. And it's a great reminder. And if you are thinking you're taking a quick trip or you're going to work and you're not going to be outside a long time, make sure you've got a hat and gloves or a scarf or something in your car as well, so that in case something does happen, you're bundled up if you're forced to be out of the vehicle for any period of time. It is that dangerous out there. Steve Courtney asked yesterday during the crosstalk, I thought this was a great question. I even asked it this morning. Would you rather be in extreme cold or extreme heat? Would you rather to be in lows of minus 25 degrees? Ladies, feel free to weigh in on this too. Would you rather be minus 25, or would you rather the extreme heat of, let's say, 100 degrees in that heat index we've seen get up to 100, 110 with high humidity?
Extreme cold.
Extreme cold.
I'm anemic, so I want the humidity.
You want the heat?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny because I said extreme. I'd rather be in extreme heat because we're in extreme cold now. If you asked this question in the summer, I guarantee you my answer would change too. I'd much rather be in extreme cold than extreme heat. It's just, it's incredible. Let's ask Marie Osborne what she would rather be, extreme heat or extreme cold. She's got some other things to talk about as well. President Trump, a big topic of conversation over there in Davos, Switzerland. He is delivering a much anticipated speech to world economic leaders, the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. And the focus, of course, is on Greenland. Let's swing it out to WJR's Marie Osborne with more on what the president had to say. Hey, Marie.
Hi, Ryan. President Trump spoke about 70 minutes this morning in Davos. The president making his point about Greenland very clear.
We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force where we would be, frankly, unstoppable. But I won't do that. It's the United States alone that can protect this giant mass of land, this giant piece of ice, develop it and improve it and make it so that it's good for Europe and safe for Europe and good for us.
Under NATO, the U.S. would currently be obligated to defend Greenland from an attack since the island is a territory of Greenland.
Every NATO ally has an obligation to be able to defend their own territory. And the fact is, no nation or group of nations is in any position to be able to secure Greenland other than the United States.
And to clarify, Greenland is a territory of Denmark. The president has threatened new tariffs against European nations, opposing his demand to surrender Greenland, and the EU is pledging to retaliate. Now, during the speech, the president several times spoke about the U.S. economy and how President Biden was to blame for the problems with the economy. He spoke about replacing the Fed chairman, Jerome Powell. He touched on the unrest in Minneapolis and railed against Somalia and Somali immigrants, saying people of Somali descent are, quote, low IQ people and pirates. So those were on his script, apparently, Ryan, but not really keeping to the point of what people really wanted to hear about, and that was Greenland today.
Incredible stuff. Some of the things that this guy says is truly remarkable. And, it's almost like, trying to figure out how to cover the guy is one of the more interesting parts of, I think, anybody's. If you're in media, trying to figure out how to cover the guy is nearly impossible, because you go with what he says and then what he does, and it could be completely different things. He says so many things that really jumpstart a conversation in terms of a jumping off point for a negotiation. I think the one worthy thing that he said today in all of this, and you said it, I won't do that. That's the quote when it comes to using military force, because just a couple of days ago, they asked if military force was on the table, and he said, we'll see. Things like that. I think it's reassuring to a lot of people that you're not going to go into Greenland and use military force. I think that's a good thing. But it's wild language, some of the things that he says.
Right. And you got to also consider the audience here. These are all the NATO nations, the European nations. And I just wondered what their reaction was to hearing some of this other. It almost seemed like, he was talking outside of school about our problems in our country. The international community may not be interested in what he has to say about the Fed chairman. So I thought that was a very, very interesting thing. But the big headline is Greenland and his comments on that.
And you go back to Greenland, Marie, just, a simple Google search on it, for a lot of people that this is not in the sphere of anything remotely close to what we would even consider this president coming. Oh, you want Greenland? It sounds like such a wild idea. This does go back into even the mid to late 1800s, trying to acquire Greenland. And they tried to do this when they purchased Alaska. When we purchased Alaska, they tried to purchase Greenland and Iceland from Denmark, and Congress did not appropriate the funds for it. So that didn't come to fruition. Harry Truman tried to do it as well. It didn't work out, but it's not the craziest idea to try to include Greenland into the United States. But again, it goes back to how this president goes about it, which makes all the headlines.
Yep, it is all about the approach, isn't it?
It's all a big negotiation, but we'll see. It can rub a lot of people the wrong way, too. No doubt about that. Marie will check in with you next hour. Thanks for updating us on that big story of the day.
And I'd rather be hot, by the way, than cold.
I was going to ask you. Yes, I was going to ask you. Extreme heat. You
Any
can jump
day
in a
of the
pool,
week.
right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Marie. We'll check in with you next hour. Hey, quick check of the markets, too, by the way. Bad day on Wall Street yesterday. Dow lost 870 points. Biggest single loss in over 3 months. NASDAQ down 2.5%. S&P down 2%. Today, they are coming back a little bit. Some gains. Dow up 279 points. NASDAQ 68 points. And the S&P up 31 points right now. It's about a half a percentage point up for the S&P. So starting to eat into some of those losses from yesterday. So positive day so far after the president's speech in Davos. We're going to come right back. We'll talk about the latest in Minnesota. Also, what is the new report? What does the new report say about how ICE is covered when it comes to nightly newscasts in this country? We'll get to that. All coming up next. 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957 if you want to get in. Coming right back, 760 WJR.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Art lovers, take note. Dumachel's January auctions blend history and design. Discover hand-woven Persian rugs, architectural treasures from Detroit's most iconic landmarks, and works from the Grand Rapids Art Museum. From estate jewelry and mid-century modern furniture to paintings, prints, and sculpture, there's something for every taste and stage of collecting. Join us online or in person January 22nd and 23rd with preview open now. Visit DUMOArt.com to bid. Dumachel's, your #1 place to buy art.
This weekend is the Fenton Home Show at the Fenton Community Center, downtown Fenton. Some of the best home improvement companies in Michigan at Fenton Home Show. See FentonHomeshow.com. Next weekend, don't miss Troy Home Show at the San Marino Club on Big Beaver. See TroyHomeshow.com.
Not sure how to tackle your taxes? Are you sweating the small print? You may be experiencing FOMO, the fear of messing up. The answer? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it with a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. It's time to take your taxes to the max. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Audible. It's time to take care of you. Who better to help you than the top voices in well-being on Audible? Kickstart your well-being journey with your first audiobook free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com/wellbeing.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Skyworks Equipment Rental. Keep your equipment running safely with Skyworks. Get your annual equipment inspection for just $99 plus any applicable taxes. If additional parts or labor needed, we'll quote up front. No surprises. Mention WJR and visit skyward-reliablerentals.com. Steer clear of an accident on the Jeffries westbound at Outer Drive. Another wreck on I-96 eastbound at Milford Road. We've got a crash on M59 eastbound at Rochester Road that's blocking your right shoulder. And we still have that wreck on I-69 westbound after I-475. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the Construction Association of Michigan. CAM has been helping commercial and industrial contractors and suppliers grow since 1885. Claim your free ticket for the Great Lakes Design and Construction Expo at the Vibe Credit Union Showplace, happening February 3rd. For details, visit buildwithcam.com. That's buildwithcam.com. Here's your forecast.
Winter weather advisory continues through 1 o'clock this afternoon. Snow this morning, tapering into some intermittent snow showers for this afternoon. Windy at times, low 30s. Windy and cold tonight with a chance of snow showers, low 20s. Partly sunny skies, windy and colder, low to mid-20s Thursday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone from the Weather Channel on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Coming up Thursday on JR Morning, it's Therapy Thursday. Dr. Steve stops by at 7:19. We'll also discuss Human Trafficking Awareness Month with an expert and the very latest from Davos. You can hear the show, of course, on WJR, WJR.com, and the free WJR app. We'll see you at 6 a.m.
760 WJR. If you want to weigh in on anything happening that you see in the news world or here on this program, let us know. 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. I did want to talk about some of the latest happenings in Minneapolis. I do consider that among the biggest stories in the country, continuing to be the biggest story in the country. Among them, it's been 2 weeks since the death of Renee Good in Minneapolis, shot by an ICE officer. We all know that. And there have been unrest in the streets since then. Now, DHS says that we would love to get into the jails. We would love to take custody of these criminal illegals there instead of letting these arrests play out on the streets where people could get hurt and where people could get killed. And we've seen that. Tim Walz and Jacob Fry, the governor and mayor, no matter what they say about getting the worst of the worst out of their city, it is certainly not how they're governing. This is Marco Charles, acting ICE Associate Director.
Since President Trump took office 1 year ago today, the state of Minnesota has released nearly 500 criminal aliens who were in police or state custody rather than turning them over to ICE for removal proceedings.
So 490 criminals, illegals with active deportation orders. They have already gone through the system. Hand them over. Nope. So, and I think one of the conversation pieces that I hear from a lot of people is, well, of course we want ... Of course we believe criminals who are in jail should be given to ICE agents. Let it all play out there in the jails before they are released. And we've all heard Jacob Fry say that. He was just on Meet the Press this week saying that. Let ICE do ICE things. We do not want to abolish ICE. That's what he said. Zoran Mamdani says something else, but he's not in charge of Minnesota. And it just feels like that part, can the two sides agree there when it comes to ICE? With active deportation orders, 490 of them have been released onto the streets. It's mind-boggling. Now, I mentioned this yesterday too, but Bill Malugin of Fox News posted this. And again, it's a fundamental misunderstanding of how it works. Well, let the police arrest them. Arrest them for what? They have already been convicted. They have done their time. What grounds would a local police officer have to rearrest them again? If you're arrested with pending charges and you make bail, what grounds would a police officer have to rearrest that person? That's where ICE has that responsibility to make that arrest. It seems so simple. But the hysteria out there, too, from the people is aided, I do believe, by the negativity on the nightly news. And there is a new report, how things are covered. I don't want to say I'm obsessed with it, but I truly, in my bones, feel like there is a responsibility to tell the whole story about everything. I just saw a report again this morning about the old man that was ripped from his home, that's a United States citizen, that didn't do anything, that his 5-year-old grandson was in there traumatized. This guy's harboring 2 child sex predators, allegedly. At least make that part of the conversation. At least make that part of the report. And again, nobody's refuting how this guy was pulled from his house. But in order to get all of the story right, include all of the story. This guy allegedly was harboring these 2 child predators. And that's just excluded. Now, the findings of this new report by Media Research Center analyzed nightly newscasts on ABC, NBC, and CBS from a time period of January 7th to January 17th. And the findings were that 93% of the stories on ABC, NBC, and CBS from January 7th to January 17th were negative towards ICE operations. There have been more than 2,500 arrests of criminal illegal immigrants there. 68 negative sound bites from the three networks in that time. 68 in the negative against ICE operations. 5 in the positive on ICE operations. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not fairness. That is not trying to get a story right. That is sharing an ideology through a certain lens. That's not giving people the whole story. And I think that's just maybe the world we live in. It's maybe where we are. And look, I could tell even by my own social media pages. I mean, I posted a quote from an ICE agent. No opinion. Gave no opinion at all. And you should see some of the comments on that page. You should see some of the emails I'm getting. Just by posting a quote that has been on national newscast itself. In fact, it was on again with Fox News earlier today. You have to try to get all of the story correct. And it is among my biggest frustrations when you just share part of it. And I think when you share part of the story and not the whole of the story, this is why we have the unrest that we have in the streets right now. This is why ICE agents are masked up. Looks like they're going to war with the American people. Because so many people are after them, will go to their homes, will protest their families. Their wives are not safe. Their children are not safe. And so you wonder why they have to get masked up. Well, the way they are talked about by some of these networks leads to a lot of fury. It leads to a lot of anger. And I could just tell by the comments on my own Facebook page where we are as a population when it comes to this stuff. 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. Your call's next, 760 WJR.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
I was ordering food for the office from the same few places for too long.
For workplaces suffering with office food fatigue, every day's a struggle.
Before starting Easy Cater, I assumed having no good vegan options for Carl in finance was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat OFF with a huge variety of favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Used daily, one platform lets you save time and shine. Ask your app store about Easy Cater or start an order at easycater.com.
Hi friends, Bill Golly here, and welcome to 2026. 2025 was big for us, as Golling Chevrolet on Michigan Avenue in Wayne and Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Mack in Detroit joined the family. Those two dealerships joined our other stores, those being Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, Golling Alfa Romeo Fiat in Birmingham, Golling Buick GMC in Lake Orion, Golling Toyota in Warren, Golling Kia in Madison Heights, or you can always find us at golling.com.
Your morning is busy, so we'll keep it brief. Upgrade your routine with WJR's 5 Things First Thing. JR Morning with Chris, Lloyd, and Jamie break down the top 5 stories in just 5 minutes. Delivered straight to your device. Start your day by hitting play. Subscribe today on the always free WJR app.
Custom built for Detroit. 760 WJR.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. President Trump's in Switzerland attending the World Economic Forum in Davos, talking about the Board of Peace he's created to oversee the Gaza ceasefire and rebuilding.
Well, we're going to have a lot. We have a lot of great people that want to join. It's going to be the most prestigious board ever formed.
Some Western European nations have declined to join this board. Others remain non-committal. The president's charging nations $1 billion for a permanent seat on that board. The House Judiciary Subcommittee on Crime and Federal Government Surveillance looking into a public fraud scandal in Minnesota. Authorities have already charged at least 78 people in connection to this scandal. Prosecutors believe the total scope of the fraud could be over $1 billion. Chairman Andy Biggs.
These fraudulent actions have robbed taxpayer funds intended to feed children, support individuals with autism, provide housing for low-income and disabled Americans, and deliver health care to Medicaid recipients.
And again, the focus of this probe is on alleged fraud in the state of Minnesota. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Sponsored by PM Technologies. Is your home standby generator surviving the winter? Has the oil been changed and the battery checked or replaced? Make sure you let PM Technologies take care of your generator so that you're ready for the winter. Visit pmtech.org. That's pmtech.org to schedule your PM Technologies generator maintenance today. That accident on I-69 westbound after I-475 is cleared. Still have that wreck on I-69 westbound at Miller Road. Another accident on I-96 eastbound after Milford Road. That's blocking your left shoulder. Your right shoulder is blocked by a wreck on the Jeffries westbound at Outer Drive. And that accident on M59 eastbound at Rochester Road is cleared. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Might see some light snow throughout the day. Nothing like this morning. A high of 32. More snow showers developing overnight. That should be done by 6 a.m. Thursday. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with a high of 26. I'm Rich Bluzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
And paid for by Anthem Tax Services. Attention! If you or your business is behind in filing your tax returns, or if you owe over $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The IRS does not joke around and will not stop their collection efforts. If you're tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments and would like to get a fresh start, we can help. Due to the financial hardships in the country, the IRS is making it easier than ever to settle tax problems for those who owe more than $10,000. We can help settle your delinquent tax problems, end all collections, and may even reduce your back taxes significantly. Even if you can't afford to pay your back taxes, you can still get the help you need. We've helped thousands of taxpayers just like you, but you must call 800-245-7095 today to stop your tax problem from getting worse. The information is free and the help is real. Call 800-245-7095. That's 800-245-7095. Again, 800-245-7095.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Trust and Will is not a law firm. It does not provide legal advice, and the online forms it provides are not a substitute for the advice or services of an attorney. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will. My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will. Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/plan. That's trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/PLAN.
Your child's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen every Sunday at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by respected educator Dr. Robert Livernoy. It's a conversation on all things education, from parents and students to educators and policymakers. School Talks is dedicated to in-depth discussions and analysis with experts on a wide range of topics in education. Sponsored by Wakely Associates Architects. The highest performing school facilities start with premier architectural design. Wakely Associates Architects, trusted since 1951. Guess who's a faithful WJR listener?
Jim Farley, CEO of Ford.
Thank you for everything you do for our community, our employees. We all trust you. We all listen to you on our way to work, on the way back, and we love what you do. We're very thankful for everything you do for our community.
Michigan's voice of automotive is the great voice of the Great Lakes. 760 WJR. Wake up tomorrow with JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Right now, it's JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni.
So the president is in Davos, Switzerland right now, and apparently he has formed the framework for a future of Greenland. That's what he's saying. Whatever he said, whatever he did, the markets love it. They have skyrocketed. 5 minutes ago was the markets were up about 250, 260 points. Now they're up 640 points, I should say. So whatever he announced, and we'll get that to you in just a little bit. The markets clearly love it. We have been talking about this new report that was released by Media Research Center. It analyzed the nightly newscasts of ABC, NBC, and CBS from January 7th to January 17th. The findings were that 93% of the stories were negative towards ICE operations. There have been 2,500 plus arrests there of criminal illegal immigrants. And the coverage of ICE operations has been completely negative 93% of the time. And look, I maintain that that's not journalism. That is looking at a story through an ideology, through a lens, and not a total picture. Because 93% of the things that they're doing is not bad. Just on the surface, by math, it just doesn't add up. And again, I think telling the whole story is such a responsibility. And I think everybody should hear, not just half the country hear the whole story and the other half gets whatever story they want to hear. Let's hear everything. And I think that's led to a lot of unrest. I think that has led to a lot of why we are in the situation we are in as a country. 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957. Let me get to Billy in River Rouge. Hey, Billy, you're on 760 WJR.
Hey, Ryan, what's going on, buddy? It's your buddy Billy from River Rouge.
Billy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, man, trying to beat this cold weather. Hey, I just want to say something, Ryan. You know, this is perfectly in line with what you had to say. You know, with them saying, unfortunately, the lady lost her life by getting shot by the officer. But they didn't tell you that they had been around harassing the ICE officers previously in the morning at different sites. And they also put on there how a loving mother of 3 children have lost their lives to this officer. But they didn't say nothing about the 2 children had been taken from them because they were burning them with cigarettes.
Yeah.
She was convicted, and they took the children from her. And that's like you said. What about the rest of the story?
Well, that's just it. I think people are smart enough to make up their own minds. I really do. I will never, ever tell anybody what they should think or try to change their mind on anything that they think. The only thing I think we have a responsibility of, look, I have my opinions. You hear my opinions all the time. But my responsibility is to give you a whole story and then let you guys decide what side you want to take. Let you guys decide for yourselves who's right and who's wrong. And I think Billy, and I think providing context as well, even to this Greenland situation. The Greenland situation, they have been trying. The United States has been trying to make a deal for Greenland since the 1860s, and I guarantee you that 90% of the people that have an opinion about Greenland, A, can't find it on a map, and B, have no idea what the history is of the U.S. trying to acquire Greenland. And I'm just trying to give a total picture. That's all. Did you have one other thing? I got some other callers here I want to get to.
I just want to make it real quick. One of my favorite quotes is from Paul Harvey. Now for the rest of the story.
Yeah,
Thanks, Ryan.
no doubt about it. Good job, Billy. Talk to you soon, my friend. Let me get to John in Sterling Heights. Hey, John, you're on 760 WJR.
Hey, kind of quickly, if you ask all four news nations, what's 1 + 1? I can tell you right now, you won't get the same answer.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
No, I was just going to say to that point, what is news? I think is such a question now to a lot of different people. What is news?
I wish we could get everybody to come up with a correct answer. I agree with what Billy said. That lady was pathetic.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to relitigate that. I mean, there's a million other examples of what's going on in Minnesota since then.
Okay, but my question is, I retired as a state trooper, 28 years. My son's daughters are getting stuff thrown at her, calling her a murderer. We trained for 1,200 hours. An ICE agents trained for 47. Have you ever 47 days? Have you ever shot a firearm, sir?
I have actually. I actually took a CPL class. It was one of the most insightful things I've ever done in my life.
Wasn't it great?
Yeah.
Can you explain to me how this happened twice? Two instances. An ICE officer put his Glock 19 in his holster, and it discharged and it shot in his foot. How can that happen?
No idea. No idea.
Another instance in Minnesota was they slipped on the ice and it discharged. You know what a safety is. I've hunted. I've put my gun.
I've not seen that report. I've not seen that report,
yeah,
John.
Go ahead and check it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the first thing you've learned with a gun is the safety has to be on. I hunted millions of years. That's the first thing you do because you know how it's unsafe. I question the training.
Well, and that absolutely is a worthy question, I think, John. There's no doubt about it. I think that is part of the story as well.
Right.
New ICE agents with 47 days of training. Yeah. I think that's a part of the story as well. Mm-hmm. No doubt. Thanks, John.
Okay, have a great day.
You too, buddy. Thanks so much for the call. Let me get to Rob in Sterling Heights before the break here. Rob, how you doing? You're on 760 WJR.
Hey, Ryan, how you doing?
Doing good, my friend.
Glocks don't have an external safety, they have an internal safety. You ought to know that if you're going to comment on something like that. I did want to comment about...
Are you talking to me or are you talking to... I just said I hadn't heard that.
Anyone in the audience out there that thinks that Glocks have an external safety?
Okay, I told him I had not heard that story.
It's a fact. So I just want to talk about Greenland. You know, the United States, who defends the Panama Canal? Who defends NORAD defends the Western Hemisphere from attacks with our Air Force? Who protects all the trade routes in all the oceans with our Navy? Do you think that costs nothing? And so far as NATO is concerned, the Germans charge us to keep our troops there to defend them because they only have about 2.5 divisions of combat-ready troops. If the United States were to pull out, we would have to give them Rosetta Stone language courses to learn how to speak Russian. Okay? So to ask for Greenland is not that big of an ask.
Well, there's and there is news regarding that. We'll get that to you at the top of the hour. Thanks so much, Rob. We're up against it. Coming up next, we are going to talk about human trafficking awareness month. What you need to know about human trafficking, how much it's happening, not only in the country, but right here in Michigan. We'll talk to a spokesperson for Guiding Harbor. We'll do that next. 760 WJR.
People can't have access to quality medical care without affordable health insurance. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, we understand increasing health insurance costs are becoming more of a strain on the budgets of the businesses and people we serve. Affordability matters. It affects real families, real decisions, and real care. That's why at Blue Cross, we're dedicated to finding solutions To learn about this critical issue and our efforts to make healthcare affordable for all, visit mibluedaily.com/affordability today.
WJR welcomes John Mellencamp to Pine Knob Music Theater July 16th for his Dancing Words Tour, The Greatest Hits. Be there for a night of your favorite songs from Mellencamp's 5 decades-long career. You could win tickets from WJR. Text HITS to 800-859-0957. Sponsored by Live Nation. Find official rules at WJR.com. Tickets available for purchase starting at 10 a.m. Friday, January 23rd at Ticketmaster.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Ad paid for by Anthem Tax Services. Attention! If you or your business is behind in filing your tax returns, or if you owe over $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The IRS does not joke around and will not stop their collection efforts. If you're tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments and would like to get a fresh start, we can help. Due to the financial hardships in the country, the IRS is making it easier than ever to settle tax problems for those who owe more than $10,000. We can help settle your delinquent tax problems, end all collections, and may even reduce your back taxes significantly. Even if you can't afford to pay your back taxes, you can still get the help you need. We've helped thousands of taxpayers just like you, but you must call 800-245-7095 today to stop your tax problem from getting worse. The information is free and the help is real. Call 800-245-7095. That's 800-245-7095. Again, 800-245-7095.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Reamer Floors. This month, wrap your home in comfort during the Cozy Carpet Sale at Reamer Floors. Save up to 30% on Karastan and get free carpet cushion. Plus, enjoy big savings on in-stock carpet and area rugs. Visit us in Bloomfield Hills, Northville, or online at reamerfloors.com. We still have that wreck on the Jeffries westbound at Outer Drive. Another accident on I-96 eastbound just after Milford Road. That's blocking your left shoulder. And we've got a wreck on I-69 westbound at Miller Road. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Winter weather advisories up for large chunks of southern Michigan today for this light snow marching across, several inches of accumulation and temps in the low 30s. This is the warm day of the week, and then Arctic air returns Friday with sub-zero lows Friday night. Dangerous wind chills over the weekend and some record cold high temperatures this weekend. 33 today with light snows, 22 tonight, mostly cloudy tomorrow, high 25, low 7 Thursday night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Sponsored by Femininio Law. GetDavidGetPaid.com.
At Femininio Law, we recover huge for our clients. But after a car accident, what matters is you, your bills, your family, your recovery. That's why I fight, because at Femininio Law, your case matters. Go to GetDavidGetPaid.com.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law, auto accident attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
$760 WJR. The markets right now have totally skyrocketed after President Trump announces that he has formed the framework for a future with Greenland. Now, to be totally honest with you, I have no idea what that means. There's really no report about it. But that is what he is saying at Davos, Switzerland. And the markets have completely reacted to that positively. Yesterday, I mentioned that the Dow lost 870 points. I mean, they have nearly gained all of that back today. Right now, the Dow is up 797 points, nearly gaining all of it back. Yesterday, the NASDAQ was down 2.5%. Now it's up 1.8%. I mean, pretty incredible stuff. How this president speaks, what he says, in the power within the markets. The S&P 500 up 110 points right now. That's up 1.6%. And again, nearly all of the losses yesterday have nearly been gained back in one day based on what he said. And what does a future for Greenland look like? What does that mean? What is the framework of a deal? We have heard a lot. We have heard the word framework before. We hear it in terms of the framework of a trade deal with this country or that country, with China, with Canada, with Europe. Nonetheless, so we'll see what this framework for Greenland means at the top of the hour. We'll try to get more information about it. But again, good day for the markets based on that information. And it's a good day to share this with you because January is Human Trafficking Awareness Month. And to help us talk about it, we bring in Guiding Harbor spokesperson Nicole Tomaszewski. Did I say that right, Nicole?
Close. It's Tomaszewski.
Tomaszewski. I knew it was something like that. I'm so sorry about that. I'll never say it wrong again. Tomaszewski. Nicole, let me first start by asking you, what is trafficking? What is human trafficking? What is your definition of it?
Yeah, so it really is, where kids or people that are kind of groomed and come to people that they think are safe. And it turns out that they are not so safe. And yeah, they just kind of end up in a situation that they weren't prepared for and still don't fully understand. So yeah.
And we have these images in our brains too, a lot, especially if you're of a certain age. You think the big white van is going to come and snatch you up and kidnap you and all of these things. I mean, does that happen now? Sure, I'm sure it does. But nonetheless, a lot of this takes place by a grooming process online, does it not?
Yeah. And, a lot of the times it's these kids that are online, like, for example, like Roblox. That is such a huge thing that nobody really thinks about. And online safety with your kids is so important. And yeah, it's definitely not just the white van coming up around the corner. You're thinking that it's the ice cream man, and lo and behold, it's not.
Talk to me about the state of Michigan and where kids perhaps in the welfare system, kids perhaps in foster care, they are at an increased risk. Is that true?
Yeah, foster kids or kids in the foster care system are already vulnerable children, and they're more vulnerable to being trafficked. Kids in the foster care actually make up about 60% of the victims just in Michigan.
That's an incredible number. And you talk about this. How prevalent is human trafficking in the state of Michigan?
It is very prevalent. And, because we have Detroit that is has such a big airport, there's things that can just happen and go under the radar. And, we're right next to Canada, and there's just so much that happens that we just don't even know about. And that's just, what we do know about is that 60% of kids in foster care.
Nicole, we are talking to Nicole Tomaszewski, Guiding Harbor spokesperson. First of all, tell us about Guiding Harbor. What do you guys do there? And I believe you're in Belleville. Is that correct?
Yeah. So we're in Belleville. We provide services to kids in foster care. So we provide services to kids and to their families. And really, we're just trying to make sure that these kids can go back home to their parents. About 50% of kids return home once they are in foster care.
Wow. Nicole, talk to me about what we should be talking to our kids about. What is an action plan to help combat human trafficking when it comes to children, especially? What should we be talking to our kids about?
Yeah, you really should just be talking to kids about what safe adults are instead of stranger danger, and really just trying to make sure that they know that people who are asking them to keep secrets don't keep secrets from other people in their lives, and make sure that you're really keeping an eye out on their online presence and, making sure that they're safe online and helping them understand like being online is fun, but it also can be dangerous.
There are definitely some risks, no doubt about that. Well, thank you so much, Nicole, for sharing your message with us. If people want more information about human trafficking, ways to combat it, do you guys have resources on your website, or what would you suggest?
Yeah, so we have been posting stuff on social media about human trafficking, and please feel free to go look on our social media, and we will be posting more throughout the rest of the month.
All right, Guiding Harbor out of Belleville. Nicole Tomaszewski, thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.
You got it. And look, man, kids online, it is one of the biggest stressors that I have, that any parent has when your kids are online and you try to limit screen time, you try to give them a little bit of rope. But man, I know people that don't let their kids play Roblox. I do let mine play Roblox, but they're not allowed to chat. You got to disable the chat feature. Man, it is tough out there. It is a completely different world than the one we grew up in, where you're just going down the block to play baseball in the corner or what have you. All right, we'll get you an update from Davos, top of the hour. Also, we'll check in with Marie, Fox News headlines. And this hour as well, I'm going to ask about moderate Democrats. What happened to the moderate Democrat? We'll get into that because there's a situation in Virginia that I think is interesting to talk about. That is making some of the headlines as well. It's all coming up next hour, 760 WJR.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
I was ordering food for the office from the same few places for too long.
For workplaces suffering with office food fatigue, every day's a struggle.
Before starting Easy Cater, I assumed having no good vegan options for Carl in finance was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat OFF with a huge variety of favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Used daily, one platform lets you save time and shine. Ask your app store about Easy Cater or start an order at easycater.com.
This weekend is the Fenton Home Show at the Fenton Community Center, downtown Fenton. Some of the best home improvement companies in Michigan at Fenton Home Show. See FentonHomeShow.com. Next weekend, don't miss Troy Home Show at the San Marino Club on Big Beaver. See TroyHomeshow.com.
Taxes was waiting on the refund you needed yesterday. All right, your car repair is going to run about $3,000.
Ugh.
Now Taxes is getting back on the road with TurboTax and Credit Karma, where you can get your refund up to 5 days faster and get personalized guidance to take every dollar further. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Deposit a federal refund into Credit Karma Money account and early submission of refund data by IRS required. Terms apply. Banking services provided by MVB Bank Inc. Member FDIC. Credit Karma is not a bank.
Your morning is busy, so we'll keep it brief. Upgrade your routine with WJR's 5 Things First Thing. JR Morning with Chris, Lloyd, and Jamie break down the top 5 stories in just 5 minutes. Delivered straight to your device. Start your day by hitting play. Subscribe today on the always free WJR app.
We're on Instagram at WJR Radio. WJR Detroit.
Incredible progress on Greenland. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. After a meeting with the head of NATO, President Trump just posting they have formed the framework of a future deal with respect to Greenland and the entire Arctic region, adding that based on this understanding, he will not impose threatened tariffs on NATO allies who oppose U.S. control of the island. This just hours after the president offered reassurance he would not use force to take Greenland.
Sitting alongside NATO's Secretary General, President Trump conceded there could be a price to pay to acquire the Danish territory of Greenland.
I can see that, but there's a bigger price, and that's the price of safety and security and national security and international security having to do with many of your countries.
President Trump's demand for a U.S. takeover of Greenland is overshadowing much of the agenda at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland, with the president meeting with European counterparts on the issue.
Fox's Jared Halpern in Washington. In his post on the new Greenland framework, the president said additional discussions are being held about the Golden Dome missile defense system he's planning to build. He says officials, including the vice president and secretary of state, will be responsible for negotiations. Vice President Vance plans to visit Minnesota tomorrow as anti-ICE protests continue there, along with legal fights between the state and federal government. A federal appeals court just pausing a lower court order that restricted immigration agents' use of force against peaceful protesters. Homeland Security has argued force is not used against people protesting peacefully. A House panel considering contempt charges against former President Clinton and Hillary Clinton over failing to appear under subpoena in a Jeffrey Epstein probe. Oversight Committee Chair James Comer says they must be held accountable.
And Democrats must support these measures or they will be exposed as hypocrites.
But Democrats call it a witch hunt focused on the wrong witnesses and a possible attempt at diversion from releasing the full Epstein files. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
We have an accident on I-69 westbound at Miller Road that's causing stop-and-go traffic from Bristol Road. Another wreck on the I-275 southbound on-ramp from eastbound Ann Arbor Road. That's blocking your right shoulder. I-69 eastbound at Dort Highway. Just picked up an accident there. I-75 northbound after East Holly Road. We have a wreck blocking your right shoulder. We have another crash on 75 northbound at Adams Street. That's causing slow traffic from M13, I-75 northbound at US 10. That's blocking your two left lanes. 75 southbound at Grange Hall Road. A crash blocks your right lane there. And we picked up a wreck on the northbound Southfield Freeway at 7 Mile. That's causing slow traffic from McNichols. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Might see some light snow throughout the day. Nothing like this morning. A high of 32. More snow showers developing overnight. That should be done by 6 a.m. Thursday. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with a high of 26. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Hi, it's Paul W. here again for my friends at Victor's Home Solutions. The Michigan winter is especially hard on the roof of your home. Victor's recommends you keep an eye out for signs of winter roofing problems, icicles hanging from your gutters, uneven snowmelt on your roof, or even water stains on your ceiling. If you see any of these, don't wait. Call the roofing experts at Victor's Home Solutions. You see, unlike a lot of roofers in the area, Victor's doesn't shut down during the winter. They know your roof problems can't wait until spring. They can be at your home within 24 hours, do a free 21-point inspection on your roof, diagnose the issue, and recommend a solution. And if it is time for a new roof, their highly trained installation teams will install it perfectly the first time. Clean up after themselves and leave your home and yard nicer than how they found it. So if you see signs of winter roofing problems, don't wait. Set up your free no-obligation roof inspection and estimate today. 866-VICTORS. That's 866-VICTORS. Or online at victors.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-796-9107 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-796-9107. That's 800-796-9107. What do you have to lose? Call 800-796-9107. Again, 800-796-9107.
Say hello to another great voice. This is JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni on 760 WJR.
Hey, let's go. Hour number 2. JR Afternoon. Thanks so much for making us part of your day wherever you are. Hopefully you're warm and you're safe because it is brutal out there. We're getting another round of Arctic blasts in the area. Lows, wind chills down to about minus 25 over the next couple of days, Friday into Saturday. So look for that. Stay warm, stay inside, do whatever you're going to do, but do it safely. Big news right now, the story, biggest story in the country right now, and it has been for the last couple of days. You've got Minnesota on one end, what's happening there with the protesters. 2 weeks ago, an ICE officer shot and killed Renee Good. There has been unrest in the streets since then. So you've got that story major in the country. You've got President Trump over the last couple of days, maybe even the last several weeks, talking about acquiring Greenland. And I mean, everybody lighting their hair on fire over his demand for Greenland. He wants to acquire Greenland. He wants to take Greenland by military force. All things are on the table. Today, he said he was not going to take it by military force. But what a difference a couple of hours makes. And this is why, in covering this president, it is very simple. It almost feels like everything he says is about negotiation. Everything he does is completely different in many cases. And today, the market has skyrocketed. I mean, they lost all of this yesterday, but it only took one day to get it back, at least so far. Market will close in less than an hour. So we'll see what happens at the end of the day here. But this is what the president has said. The market has skyrocketed based on information regarding the president and a very productive meeting, he says. He wrote this on Truth Social. I'll just read it to you. Based upon a very productive meeting that I have had with Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte, we have formed the framework of a future deal with respect to Greenland and, in fact, the entire Arctic region. This solution, if consummated, will be a great one for the United States of America and all NATO nations. Based upon this understanding, I will not be imposing the tariffs that were scheduled to go into effect on February 1st. Additional discussions are being held concerning the Golden Dome as it pertains to Greenland. Further information will be made available as discussions progress. Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and various others, as needed, will be responsible for the negotiations. They will report directly to me. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Perhaps the MVP of the Trump administration 2.0 could be Special Envoy Steve Witkoff. Whatever this guy does, whatever negotiating tools he uses, he has been the lead negotiator for this administration in so many of the different really high-level, hard things. And Witkoff, once again, will be involved heavily with negotiations here. Now, again, this is a framework. This is nothing that is consummated yet. But we have seen this in many cases. The president says something and the markets react to it. It sounds like, and again, we've seen frameworks of trade deals that have yet to be finalized. So how long will something take here? But nonetheless, the president says no tariffs. And I think that's welcome news to a lot of people, to an awful lot of people. No tariffs on our NATO allies that were set to come on February 1st. That is the major news point of this statement. Let's check in with Marie Osborne, the IRS, heading into the 2026 tax filing season with a major shakeup at the top. WJR's Marie Osborne has more details on that part of the story. Hey, Marie.
Yeah, it's that time of year when we're talking about income taxes. Just days before the returns begin rolling in, the IRS Chief Executive Officer, Frank Bignano, announced sweeping personnel and operational changes at the office. Moves, he says, that are designed to modernize the agency and improve service for taxpayers. The timing's critical. The IRS is preparing to process millions of returns while rolling out significant tax law changes included in the tax and spending package President Trump signed last summer. The changes include new tax relief for tips and overtime, along with expanded deductions for qualifying older Americans. In a letter to the agency's 74,000 employees, Bignano outlined a reorganization of executive leadership, and among the most notable shifts, Gary Shapley, the whistleblower who previously raised concerns about investigations into Hunter Biden's taxes, he has been appointed deputy chief of the Criminal Investigation Division. He steps in after the long time head there, Guy Fico, prepared to retire. The IRS says the changes are aimed at strengthening oversight, boosting efficiency, and preparing the agency for its busiest and most complex tax season in years, Ryan.
Well, Marie, I'm glad I had to take a double take because I thought you said initially Gary Shandling, the comedian, was the whistleblower.
Who knows? Why not bring him in?
All right. You know what? Hey, we'll see. We'll see what kind of tax refunds people get. With all the talk regarding what kind of tax refunds people get, it'll be interesting to maybe get a couple of dollars this year, right?
Yeah.
We'll see how that works out. Thanks, Marie. Appreciate it.
Thank
And
you.
hey, just real quick, isn't it something how quickly something can change? I mean, just in the 2:00 hour reporting on Davos and Switzerland and the president and no military action on Greenland, an hour later he comes out and says, "Oh, we got a framework for a deal." Isn't
I
that
know.
unbelievable?
I know you've got to really have you eat your Wheaties in the morning to stay on top of all this.
No doubt. Thanks, Marie. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, coming up next, I want to ask you about moderate Democrats. And I think it's a really important point as Democrats try to regain control of the House, try to gain control of the Senate. 2026, obviously, an election year. I want to see where the electorate is at. And I'm going to give an example because I think one of the questions, and again, the hatred, and I don't use that word loosely, the hatred for Donald Trump is incredible. I mean, even I posted about the news update, about the markets and about the framework of the deal, and you really get a sense of where people are at. And for those people, I think in their minds, how can person X, Y, or Z vote for Donald Trump? How can they do that? How can smart people go about doing that? Well, it's a binary choice. So one of the things you got to do is look inward, I think. We're going to look inward a little bit as best we can. It's coming up next. Stick with me, 760 WJR.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-796-9107 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-796-9107. That's 800-796-9107. What do you have to lose? Call 800-796-9107. Again, 800-796-9107.
Life is beautiful and fragile. We fall. We get tired. And sometimes we get sick. But with Corewell Health, we are also strong. We fight disease. We battle cancer. We come together. We come back. We push forward. When the body breaks, we break through. Corewell Health. We can.
The Inside of You podcast.
You're listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Let's get inside of Sebastian Maniscalco.
This whole podcasting thing, right?
I was doing it before every actor and their mother wanted a podcast.
Did you wake up one day and go, I got to talk to people? You're an actor.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're Barbara Walters.
Yeah.
How do we make
It happened by accident. I had no idea people would start listening. But when you're genuine, that's what attracts people.
The Inside of You podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
This weekend is the Fenton Home Show at the Fenton Community Center, downtown Fenton. Some of the best home improvement companies in Michigan at Fenton Home Show. See FentonHomeshow.com. Next weekend, don't miss Troy Home Show at the San Marino Club on Big Beaver. See TroyHomeshow.com.
Who wouldn't love a night of laughter with a purpose? Join the Salvation Army of Metro Detroit February 11th at Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle for Comedy for a Cause, featuring comedian Paul Mercurio. Tickets are just $60 with proceeds benefiting the Bed and Bread program, helping Detroiters in need. Buy tickets today at sametrodetroit.org. And don't forget to catch the Salvation Army's 39th annual Bed and Bread Club Radiothon on February 26th and 27th on 760 WJR.
100 years of history, 11 Stanley Cups. Discover the epic story of the team that defined our city. The Detroit Historical Museum presents Becoming Hockeytown, Detroit Red Wings at 100. Explore a century of hockey from the original Detroit Cougars to the legends that earned the name Hockeytown. Don't miss this special centennial exhibition, Becoming Hockeytown, on display through November 2nd, 2026 at the Detroit Historical Museum. Get your tickets and celebrate a century of champions. Learn more at DetroitHistorical.org.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by SuperSure.
Do you own a small business? You need to hear this. A seismic shift is coming. It's time to get super sure. Not kind of sure, not pretty sure, not a little sure, but super sure. The seismic shift is coming. Super sure, coming soon.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by PM Technologies. Is your generator ready for winter? Cold weather kills batteries fast. Your home standby generator needs maintenance once a year to stay reliable. Let PM Technologies handle your routine service and emergency repairs. Visit pmtech.org. That's pmtech.org to schedule your generator service today. We still have that wreck on I-75 southbound at Grange Hall Road. Northbound side of 75, steer clear of a wreck blocking your right lane after East Holly Road. Northbound Southfield Freeway, we've got a couple of accidents there, one at Grand River and another at 7 Mile. And we still have that crash on I-69 westbound at Miller Road. You're slow from Bristle Road. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Got some winter weather advisories up today for some light snows. This is the warm day of the week at 33 this afternoon. Low tonight 22. The Arctic chill returns Thursday night and into Friday. Talking highs Friday at 10. Low Friday night at 4 below. And single-digit high temperatures on Saturday. More snows on Sunday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Scott Laurie. More on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Coming up Thursday on JR Morning, it's Therapy Thursday. Dr. Steve stops by at 7:19. We'll also discuss Human Trafficking Awareness Month with an expert and the very latest from Davos. You can hear the show, of course, on WJR, WJR.com, and the free WJR app. We'll see you at 6 a.m.
.760 WJR. 2026 is an election year, obviously. Will Democrats regain control of the House? Will they take control of the Senate? Midterm elections usually trend toward the party not in power. Republicans have the White House, they have the House, they have the Senate now. So the thought is that the Democrats will have significant, at least moderate gains here in 2026, just what history dictates. What did the autopsy say for the Democratic Party in 2024? I think that's important. That was not released to the public, by the way. They did an autopsy that was not released to the public. Why did Donald Trump win the office again? Why is he back in office? Why did he win the popular vote? Why did he win all 7 swing states? I mean, any reasonable person, I would think, would take a look in the mirror at that point, right? Why would all of these people in this country choose to vote for him instead of voting for the blue team? And, did the 2025 off-year election provide any glimpse of a roadmap in what it takes to win an election? And I'm not talking about the Zohran Mamdani. Him aside, the bluest of blue cities is New York City. You can elect all the Mamdanis you want. I just don't think it's reasonable to assume that a guy like Zohran Mamdani could win a general election. I just don't think it would happen. Would it happen in the future? Maybe, but I don't think it would happen anytime soon. So in an effort to get the party back to the middle, and again, I think it's imperative to have multiple strong political parties, somebody to fight for the guy, somebody to fight for the gal in the center. Make that independent swing back and forth dependent on the candidate. Governor Gretchen Whitmer even said in a recent interview, she has met multiple people who voted for Gretchen Whitmer twice, who also voted for Donald Trump twice. How does that happen? Think about that for a second. That's an incredibly independent person that has voted for Gretchen Whitmer twice and Donald Trump twice. So in an effort to get the party back to the middle, and I mentioned this yesterday, the Dana Carvey line, I refer back to this Bill Maher podcast that he did, Club Random with Dana Carvey and David Spade. It was fantastic. Dana Carvey says, I'm a Clinton 90s liberal. Today, that is considered a Nazi. And it's an incredible kind of jumping off point to talk about the party in and of itself. So for the Democratic Party to move the pendulum back to being more moderate, you have to have more moderate candidates, right? Well, insert Abigail Spanberger. She is the Democratic governor in the state of Virginia. Virginia, of course, a very purple state. The former governor, Glenn Youngkin, he is a moderate Republican. He governed very moderately, moderate conservative, not a crazy person. Slight move to the left with Abigail Spanberger. Great campaign she ran. Great campaign. Being more moderate, a moderate center-left candidate. Great model, great blueprint for the country. Great blueprint for the party ahead of 2026. How to win a purple state. She ran as a moderate. She's been in office for 5 minutes, okay? Been in office for 5 minutes. Democrats have control of the state legislature. You ready for some of the things that they have before the state legislature there now? New 4.3 sales tax on Uber Eats, Amazon, and all deliveries. Create 2 new higher tax brackets, 8% and 10%, people making over $600,000. Raise the hotel tax. A new personal property tax on landscaping equipment, ban gas-powered leaf blowers, guarantee illegal aliens free education, extend the time absentee ballots can be received after Election Day to 3 days, allow people to cast their votes electronically through the internet, make it illegal to hand count ballots, lower the criminal penalties for robbery, ban the arrest of illegal aliens in courthouses, remove mandatory minimum sentences, replace Columbus Day with Indigenous Peoples Day. Those are all pieces of legislation before the state legislation in the state of Virginia. Been in control 5 minutes. And look, you could say whatever you want about Donald Trump. I'm not here to tell you he's good. I'm not here to tell you he's bad. What I am here to tell you is the guy does what he says on the trail. What is happening right now is not and should not be surprising to anyone. At least he tells you. And if Abigail Spanberger said any of this, even one of those 10 things that I listed during the campaign, there may have been a different outcome. I've been sitting on this for a couple of days, too. This happened a week ago. I saw it. I had it on the rundown to discuss it. I didn't do it. I wasn't trying to avoid anything. But when you have topics like this, you just got to let it breathe. You can't let them, can't cram them in. But it's back in the news today, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But this is a hearing on Capitol Hill about the safety and efficacy of regulation of abortion pills. This was 1 week ago today, I believe it was, Senator Josh Hawley asking Dr. Nisha Verma, an OBGYN brought in by the Democrats. Take a listen to this interaction.
Can men get pregnant? That's a yes or no question. It really is, I think.
I think you're trying to reduce the complexity of a lot.
I'm not. I'm trying to get, it's not complex. I'm trying to get to an answer, and I'm trying to test, frankly, your veracity as a medical professional and as a scientist. Can men get pregnant?
I think you're also conflating
This is
male
extraordinary.
female with
Male and female. They're two different things. There's biological men and there's biological women. And I want to know, can men get pregnant?
what you were talking about is biological.
You're not going to answer my question, it sounds like.
Biological males.
This isn't hard, doctor. Can men get pregnant? Yes or no?
I would be more than happy to have a conversation with you that is not coming from a place of trying to be polarized and push.
I'm not trying to be polarizing. I'm trying to ask. I think it is extraordinary that we are here in a hearing about science and about women. And for the record, it's women who get pregnant, not men.
It's an incredible interaction. And again, that question, and it may not affect a ton of people, right? It may not affect a ton of people. But what it is a barrier to other conversations. If you can't answer that question, probably nothing more to talk about. I mean, you don't care what your economic plan is, don't care about how you feel about law enforcement, don't care about what you think about education, healthcare, infrastructure, travel, whatever. It's a barrier. That question is a barrier. And the reason why I played that soundbite today is because Stephen A. Smith went off about it. And again, for Democrats, for the sake of the party, you have got to be able to answer that question. For the sake of all the Clinton 90s liberals who are begging the majority of this party to come back to the middle and present a real challenge to Donald Trump. Here's Stephen A. Smith.
You got to see this. It just doesn't, I'm telling you, it doesn't look good for the Democrats if you allow yourself to be associated with this. This is the kind of stuff that will lose you elections. Ladies and gentlemen, the clip was 5 minutes long. I only played 2. 10 times he asked her, can men get pregnant? Can men get pregnant? And she wouldn't answer. She wouldn't answer. Answer the question. Quite frankly, I'm trying to check your veracity on this matter. You're here talking science. Can men get pregnant? Yes or no? You cannot have that. As a Democratic Party, you cannot be associated with that. I'm talking about an unwillingness and an inability to answer the question. If you think men can get pregnant and you think you have scientific data to back that up, say so. If you don't have the scientific data to back it up and you're purported to be a scientist, Dr. Nisha Verma, and the question is asked and you don't have proof to validate that men get pregnant, can men get pregnant, then the answer would be no. She refused to answer the question. That cannot happen.
Stephen A. Smith, you cannot have that as a Democratic Party. You cannot have that. That cannot happen. Let's talk about that next. 800-859-0957, 800-859-0WJR. For Democrats to win general elections, for Democrats to move this party back to the middle, do you have to answer that question? Is that the question? Is that the barrier question leading to a bigger conversation? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. 800-859-0WJR, 800-859-0957, 760 WJR.
Michigan Auto Law, the law firm that puts people over everything.
At Michigan Auto Law, winning auto accident cases is what we do. We're Michigan's only law firm 100% dedicated to auto accidents. That's how we've won more million-dollar auto accident results than any other law firm. From day one, we fight for the best possible outcome for you. Just call us. Michigan Auto Law. People over everything. Visit autolaw.com.
Let's breathe. Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Exhale very slowly. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ed Council.
Fox News, I'm Tom Graham. President Trump is backing away from slapping several European nations with tariffs if they oppose his Greenland takeover. The president making the announcement on Truth Social, but not giving up his bid for the Arctic island.
And it's better if we have Greenland than it is without.
The president speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, while meeting with several leaders, including NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte. More than 175 million people in the path of a potentially historic winter storm for much of the eastern two-thirds of the country. It's going to bring snow to many northern states beginning Friday, ice to southern states.
Up over half an inch, tree limbs come down, power lines come down, likely power outages from Texas all the way over to the Carolinas.
Fox Weather's Ian Oliver says that will continue into the weekend. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Stand Up to Cancer.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Still have that wreck on I-96 westbound after Latson Road. Another accident on I-69 westbound at Miller. That's causing stop-go traffic from Gristle Road. Northbound Southfield Freeway, 2 accidents, one at Grand River. That's blocking your 2 right lanes. You're slow from Plymouth Road there. Another one at 7 Mile. You're stop and go from McNichols. And steer clear of a wreck on 75 southbound at Grange Hall Road. That's blocking your right shoulder. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Might see some light snow throughout the day. Nothing like this morning, though. A high of 32. More snow showers developing overnight. Should be done by 6 a.m. Thursday. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with a high of 26. I'm Rich Bluzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Hey, gang, it's Ryan Ermanni. I want to tell you about all of the great things happening at Game Day Men's Health in Plymouth. Do you know why I want to tell you about this? Because I'm so excited to let everybody know that I've lost 24 pounds since I've been working with them. And look, this is a great partnership because it is having real results with real people. You can get that online point-and-click transaction anywhere you want. This is a personalized experience. Every treatment that they have is customized to meet your specific needs. I've been working with them since mid-October, and in that time, and I mean this, I've never felt better in my adult life. I use them for weight loss, but they specialize in personalized, science-backed men's health treatments. Guys, do you need testosterone replacement therapy, peptide therapy, medical weight loss? It's all designed for you, all designed for men. Do yourself a favor. Call them for a complimentary consultation. 734-927-1718. That number again is 734-927-1718. Game Day Men's Health on Ann Arbor Road in Plymouth. Doesn't cost you anything to give them a call and to have a complimentary consultation. 734-927-1718. It'll be the best call you make.
Finding excuses to not do your taxes? Unsure where to start? Sounds like you may be suffering from FOMO, the fear of messing up. The cure? Filing your federal and state taxes for free using TurboTax on Credit Karma. All you have to do is start and finish filing on your own in the Credit Karma app by February 28th. Just keep in mind, this offer is available only if you didn't file with TurboTax last year. It's time to break free from your fear of messing up. Start filing for free today in the Credit Karma app.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs.
Coming in 3, 2. Coming up at 2 o'clock on JR Afternoon, we'll talk to Michigan Congresswoman Haley Stevens, running for the U.S. Senate seat in the state of Michigan. We'll talk to her about everything happening in the state, in the country as well, all the hot topics and so much more. We hope to talk to you as well. 760 WJR.
Lose. Call 800-796-9107. Again, 800-796-9107.
Imagine this. You're gliding down a peaceful river past sun-drenched vineyards and centuries-old villages. Welcome to Portugal's Douro River, one of Europe's most beautiful and relaxing cruises. Hey, it's Kevin Dietz. I'm heading to Portugal in July 2026, and you are invited. We'll spend a night in Lisbon exploring this stunning capital before boarding our river cruise ship to visit charming towns, enjoy authentic Portuguese cuisine, and sip world-famous port wine right where it's made. No rushing, no crowds, just breathtaking views, warm hospitality, and time to truly unwind. This trip is perfect for travelers who love culture, scenery, and a slower pace. Whether you're celebrating retirement, an anniversary, or simply ready for your next adventure, Portugal's Douro River is calling. Visit WJRTravelClub.com for complete details, or to reserve your cabin, call 800-383-3131 today.
The guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, president of Leaf Filter, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Catch School Talks with Dr. Robert Livernoy.
On the program this week, we'll discuss political lobbying and what it means for education.
The political environment today is different than it has been at any other time of the past 25 years. We live in a politically purple state, and in today's politicized environment where Republicans and Democrats seem to be at odds more than ever before.
Due to NFL coverage, this special School Talks is at a different day and time this Saturday at 3 on 760 WJR.
Wake up tomorrow with JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Right now, it's JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni.
All right, I just want to reset for you what we're doing here. I'm going to get to the phones, and I'm going to ask everybody to be brief because we've got a lot of calls on the line. I'm going to take you. I'm going to get everybody on. Just if you could make your point and get out so I can get to everybody. I just want to reset it for you. Just talking about moderate Democrats. And really a lot of this stemmed from Dana Carvey on the Bill Maher podcast. Dana Carvey, comedian, says, I'm a Bill Clinton liberal, 90s liberal. And today that is considered me being a Nazi. And it's kind of funny. It's kind of tongue in cheek, but I think it makes an interesting point about moderate Democrats. So many people feel like they have a base and they haven't changed. Perhaps the party has. And I mentioned this situation in Virginia with the governor there, Abigail Spanberger, ran a tremendous race. She, I think, ran a model race, if you're a moderate Democrat, how to win a purple state. Great race. Said everything made sense. Most things made sense. Nobody says 100% of good anything. Made a lot of sense. 5 minutes she's been in office, I gave you a list of 10 things that if she would have said any one of those things, might not have gotten elected. And that brings us to where the party is. And this was a week ago. I played this for you. This was Senator Josh Hawley.
Can men get pregnant? That's a yes or no question. It really is, I think.
I think you're trying to reduce the complexity of a lot.
I'm not. I'm trying to get, it's not complex.
And it went on and on and on. So the reason why this is back in the news today is because Stephen A. Smith on his podcast just completely blew that to shreds.
You got to see this. It just doesn't, I'm telling you, it doesn't look good for the Democrats if you allow yourself to be associated with this. This is the kind of stuff that will lose you elections.
He said you cannot have that in the Democratic Party. You cannot be associated with that because it's a barrier to other questions. For many people, if you can't answer that basic question, and it might not affect more than 5 people, might not affect more than 1 people, but it's a jumping off point for a barrier to the conversation. If you can't answer that, maybe nobody's going to take you seriously when it comes to the economy or healthcare or law enforcement or anything like that. So how do you get the party back to the center? Maybe it starts with being able to answer that question. I know that sounds so basic, but perhaps that's what it is. Let me get to Steve in Lansing. You're on 760 WJR. How you doing, Steve?
Good. The problem is they lie. They lie. Alyssa Slotkin lied. Gretchen Whitmer lied. They all put themselves out there as a moderate person when they're running. And then when they get the opportunity, just like Gretchen Whitmer did when she got the House and the Senate, they go full-blown communist liberal. So they can tell everybody that they're moderate people, like the two of them did, just like that Virginia woman did. And then when she comes in there, now she wants to even ban a gas leaf blower. I mean, what's wrong with these people's heads?
Steve, I will say in Governor Whitmer's defense, I mean, she has taken a lot of criticism for working with the Republican legislature, with the Republican president to get the people's work done of Michigan. I think she gets a lot of credit for that because she has proven that she can work with the other side. Many people are just not even willing to do it. Fair enough?
Well, I don't see where she has. And then if you look at the people she's promoted,
Asian carp. I'm just giving you a couple of instances, but go ahead.
Well, she didn't go to her buddy who she was riding with Biden for that National Guard down there at Selfridge. She had to go to Trump and get him to do it. Trump did it, not Biden. She didn't go to Biden and say, "Hey, can you help us out here to Selfridge and stock this with some good fighter planes?" She went to Trump. She was riding with Biden.
Steve, I just want to say, and I'm only cutting you off a little bit because I'm up against time wise. I'm not here to fight with you. I just think that the governor should get a little bit more credit than that because I think she has proven that she can work and she's reached out to the other side to work with. I just think that's worth mentioning. I appreciate it. I wouldn't cut you off under any other circumstances. Everybody, get you a minute here, Pam. How you doing? You're on 760 WJR. Hey, Pam.
Hey, Ryan. I'm just finding out that this radio station is very conservative, but which is fine, whatever. But I just feel like it wouldn't hurt the Democratic Party at all. I don't even know why they're having this conversation.
Well, you don't think,
they're
Pam?
worried about this.
Pam, you don't think that's the barrier to a conversation? Is that not a basic for a medical doctor to be asked that question? What is conservative about that? I guess I'm asking the question. I'm asking, dumbfounded.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she was dancing around it a little bit, but
she was asked 10 times.
The conservatives don't do that either. I mean, the Republicans, right? But I mean, it just seems like they're bringing up these subjects because they're trying to stay away from the Epstein list or this or that. And we got so many more problems in the world. It's like, really? Not to mention, I feel like it's between a woman and their doctor. Who cares? Whatever. Who cares what people think? I don't. All I know is the world's a mess, and that does not, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, fair enough, Pam.
It's the last thing to worry about, right?
Pam, listen, this is what I will agree with you about. I think that, science should be pretty easy to discuss, especially for a medical doctor to be asked that question. It's just a barrier, just an insight into what you think science is. Is it political or is it science? That's all. And I don't think that's a Republican issue. Look, science is not a Republican or Democratic issue. Science is science. Bill, I got 30 seconds for you. I'm so sorry, but I only got 30 seconds for you. What do you got? Bill in Rochester.
I won't be able to fit it all in, but I believe we're seeing the fruits of decades worth of subversion by the Russian government. Google Yuri Bezmenov as a starting point and just kind of go from there and educate yourself. But I think they targeted the Democratic Party, the Department of Education, culturally, TV and Hollywood. They view Trump as a threat. That's why it's so voracious and volatile when you bring him up, because he's a threat to him. The Democratic Party today is definitely going socialist with New York City and Seattle. But just Google subversion and Yuri Bezmenov.
I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to do that for you, Bill. I'm so sorry. I wanted to get you in, but I gotta end it here because I got to get to a break. Steve Courtney coming up next, 760 WJR. Crosstalk with Steve.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
The headlines are full of major legal cases, both locally and nationally. But do we ever really get the inside story? Join Todd Flood of Flood Law on Behind the Bench tonight at 7 p.m. to get the inside story. Todd will speak with judges, attorneys, and other special guests to explain what the real legal issues are behind the biggest cases. Todd will also discuss the current legal landscape and what you need to do to navigate the system for your best outcome. Listen to Behind the Bench with Todd Flood tonight at 7 p.m.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Reamer Floors. This month, wrap your home in comfort during the Cozy Carpet Sale at Reamer Floors. Save up to 30% on Karastan and get free carpet cushion. Plus, enjoy big savings on in-stock carpet and area rugs. Visit us in Bloomfield Hills, Northville, or online at ReamerFloors.com. We've got a wreck on I-96 westbound after Latson Road. You're slow from Grand River Avenue. Still have that wreck on the northbound Southfield Freeway at Grand River Avenue. That accident on 7 Mile at the Southfield Freeway has cleared. Still seeing a little bit of stop and go from McNichols there. And expect a slower commute on I-94 eastbound between the Lodge and Chalmers. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Tough Arctic air invades again for the weekend with single-digit high temperatures Saturday and Sunday. And some of those high temperatures could break records this weekend for us, daily records. Some light snows today in 33, low tonight 22. This is the warm day of the week. Thursday 25. Here comes the Arctic air Friday, high 10. Low Friday night at 4 below with dangerous wind chills to 20 below. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Scott Laurie. More on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law, Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit Autolaw.com. That's Autolaw.com.
760 WJR. Talking to Steve Courtney in the break just about the snow in the schools. And man, if you are a parent, if you are in charge of a school-aged child, if you are a teacher, prepare for having some time off on Friday and maybe even Monday. We are going to get an Arctic blast like nothing we've ever seen before. You've never seen an Arctic blast like this.
Yeah, I would say, just on the outside looking in there, lad, 99% chance there will be no school on Friday.
99.9, probably.
8 degrees for a high.
And
now, correct me if I'm wrong, both my son and daughter-in-law, educators in the great city of Livonia, and I think it has to be minus 20 wind chill.
Oof. Well, you're going to get it.
Yeah.
You're going to get it on the low ends. Derek Kever says minus 25.
And then what's this business Beth Ann and I were discussing? 8 to 9 inches on Sunday?
Sunday into Monday.
What is going on there?
Sad.
Oh.
I stole your topic today on Fox 2, minus 20 or 90.
Did you now?
Huge reaction.
Really? And what were the results?
60% said 60%. We did one of those polls. 60% said heat. They'd rather it hot. 40% said cold. I said I wanted it hot, but if you asked me the question in the summer, I probably would say cold then.
Well, you know what? 60% is an interesting number there. Because, I'm thoroughly convinced that anybody that says they enjoy 90 degrees and 95% humidity, they're liars.
Liars.
All right. Big night for your Detroit Red Wings.
Huge.
Got ourselves an original 6 matchup and a big Atlantic Division showdown. You see, the Red Wings are skating in Toronto against the Maple Leafs tonight. Red Wings, of course, coming off the 4-3 overtime win at Little Caesars Arena. That on Sunday. The Wings have won 2 in a row. I'm not done. They have won 6 of their last 7. What are the Maple Leafs up to? Well, they've got 56 points. That is good enough for 6th in the Atlantic Division. This will be the 4th meeting of the season between these two clubs. Red Wings won the last meeting 3-2 in overtime at home. That on December 28th. In fact, I'll let you know, Red Wings going into tonight's tilt, a perfect 3-0 against the Leafs this season. One of the reasons the Red Wings having success, special teams play. Power play, 6th in the league, going at a 25.2% clip. Penalty kill, I'm sure Tom McClellan would like to see a little bit better. They're 17th in the NHL, 78.9%. When you take a look at what's going on in the Atlantic Division, Tampa Bay on top, Ryan with 66 points, the Red Wings with 64, Les Habitants du Montréal, 63. Still bunched up at the top.
Yeah, it is. Tampa Bay's got a couple of games in hand, too. So I mean, they've got as big a cushion, 2 points and 2 games in hand that you could possibly have. But the Red Wings holding their own right there. Played the same number of games as Montreal. They're above them, and Buffalo and Boston nonetheless. So this is going to be a fight to the finish like we've really never seen in a long, long time around here.
The bottom line, as we're now middle of January, Red Wings in a pretty darn good position to snap the 9-game postseason funk.
No doubt. And one of the things about this team, too, is they are finally, if you look at plus minus and the goal differential, finally in the positive. They've been kind of in the negative all year. I don't know how they've been in the negative all year, but finally fought out of that.
The Pistons in action tonight as well. Where are they? They're in New Orleans to face the Pelicans.
How bad are they? Pelicans, I'm talking about.
Well, they're 10-35. Thanks for asking, Ryan. 15th in the Western Conference. They'll tip it off at 8 o'clock. The Pistons, meanwhile, looking to extend their 3-game win streak. Cade Cunningham averaging 25.7 points, 5.9 rebounds, 9.8 assists for the Pistons. You know who's been very impressive lately? Duncan Robinson.
Yeah, baby.
Because he is doing what he was brought here to do. He's averaging, as a matter of fact, 2.9 made 3-pointers over the last 10 games.
Him and Karis LeVert are my favorite Pistons.
Is that so? That's shocking. I'm absolutely shocked by that statement.
I wonder why.
Slappy. Anyway, You take a look at the Eastern Conference. Again, the Pistons sitting pretty. The Celtics 5.5 games behind. The Knicks and Raptors 7 games off the pace.
Unbelievable. This team's on pace to win 62 games.
And what was it, 2 years ago?
I don't think they won 20.
They won 20.
Were they 28 and something?
Yeah.
It's incredible turnaround. It truly is.
A great story.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I need your opinion on this. Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Chambliss. You know, he filed that lawsuit Friday challenging the NCAA's decision to deny him a 6th year of college eligibility, asking a Mississippi court to allow him to play for the Rebels next season. Yada, yada, yada. Let's fast forward to this, what his lawyers are saying. Days before the waiver request was officially denied, Chambliss agreed to a revenue-sharing deal to return to Ole Miss if he does play another season of college football. Unknown exactly how much Chambliss would make, but top quarterbacks in the transfer portal this cycle have been receiving deals in the $4 to $5 million range.
Insane.
So his agent...
God bless him,
But how about this? Chambliss's agent, Fletcher Smith III, been doing it for a while, I guess. He told The Athletic last week that his client was also mentally preparing for the possibility of entering the NFL draft. The lawsuit says doing so would likely cost Chambliss millions of dollars.
Guy doesn't want to go to the NFL to play at that level and make millions of dollars. He'd rather stay in college and make millions of dollars. It is a different world. You look at the average age of the Indiana Hoosier championship team. What was it, like near 23?
Yeah.
Wasn't it close to 23? And look, I think it was, who's the coach at St. John's, basketball coach? Rick Pitino.
Yes.
Rick Pitino says, I'll never recruit another high school athlete in my life. He will never go to another high school gym, he says.
Well, that's the fear of what's going to go on in college football as well. Who's going to suffer with all the transfer portal activity are high school seniors.
Yes.
It used to be 5-star, 4-star, 3-star. You're going somewhere.
Yep.
There's a lot of college football programs putting less and less scrutiny on that high school
no doubt
scouting deal.
You know, a lot of these players now, Steve, they go to these big schools, they don't play, then they go to a Ferris State, they go to a Division II because they know they're going to play, and that trickle-down effect. Then those Division II players are going Division III, and you're running out of roster spots. It's a big problem what's happening, and just put Nick Saban in charge, make him the CEO and the commissioner of the NCAA, and let him figure it out.
There you have it.
All right, we'll solve the world's problems. Give Courtney and I 5 minutes, and we'll solve every problem in the world.
Again.
All right. I want to thank Beth Ann Long and Danielle Mason. I want to thank you for making us part of your day. Hopefully you were entertained and informed. More of that coming. Mitch Albom next here on 760 WJR.